In an NBA career that spanned almost 2 decades, Carmelo Anthony has scored a lot. With 27,370 points, only 9 players have scored more, and Anthony is still playing. His achievements, while impressive, are no match for what it took for this 10-time All-Star to make it to the NBA. That story is the subject of his revealing new memoir.
I spent 8 years here, and then every summer until I was 15.
On a recent visit to Red Hook, the Brooklyn, New York neighborhood where life began for NBA great Carmelo Anthony, the memories come flooding back.
I was outside watching and in the mix and people playing basketball and I'm running on the court. You know, I'm interrupting the game and I'm jumping off the monkey bars and I watched my brother out the window and just going outside trying to emulate his moves.
It's those recollections and stories from his childhood and adolescence Carmelo is sharing in his memoir, Where Tomorrows Aren't Promised.
I want people to consider this like the prequel to my career.
It's not a book about basketball.
It's not a book about basketball. You know, even though basketball is the through line throughout my whole life, I just wanted people to understand that I still had to go through everyday life and focus on basketball.
That includes growing up in 2 of America's toughest neighborhoods, with Carmelo leaving the projects of Brooklyn when he was 8 for West Baltimore. He writes, "In Red Hook, they'd quickly kill you over disrespect, but in Baltimore, they'd kill you for sport."
Y'all mind the crossfire here? Let's go.
That grim reality was depicted in the acclaimed HBO series, The Wire.
People see The Wire and they think, well, that's Hollywood's version.
No, it's the location is The Wire. The Wire was something that we really that's us right there. That's a story about us.
The end of the first chapter, you say the real question was, how did I, a kid who had so many hopes, dreams, and expectations beaten out of him, make it here at all?
Yes.
How did you?
A little bit of luck.
Oh, more than
that. A little bit
too.
of luck. It was community oriented. I had to figure it out on my own, but I also had people pushing me. You know, I had my community guiding me, family guiding me, friends guiding me. You would think that the guys who's selling drugs or on the block who's making money, those are guys who would influence you to go the other way, but it was the total opposite. Those guys always protected the people in the neighborhood that needed to be protected.
Carmelo was named after his father and was just 2 when his dad died of cancer, leaving Carmelo's mother Mary to raise him, starting here in an apartment in the Red Hook West housing project.
Apartment 1C. It was the place, I think is what you wrote.
It was in and out all day long. Uncles, aunts in the house, 8 people, 9 people in the 3-bedroom apartment. We fought over food, we fought over clothes, we fought over where we sleeping at, and that really kind of created the bond.
Where did that love come from? Was it your mom?
It was my mom, and everybody knew Miss Mary, she was gonna do her thing. She was gonna cook, she was gonna clean, she was gonna take care of you.
Outside those apartment walls, Carmelo's older cousin Luck became a guiding force, especially when it came to basketball. Their late-night games, transformative.
Sitting under the lights at 1 o'clock in the morning, just outside, me and him, you stepping over crack vials and crack and heroin needles and beer bottles and prostitutes over here and drug dealers over. We talking about 1 a.m., 2 a.m. But that's what made me tougher. I know in the back of my mind, I got to get out of here. Like, you see what I got to walk back home through that? This is not for me. I don't want this no more.
And while Carmelo would get out, Luck never did. He remembers their last night together vividly.
And I remember running to the door after him, man, don't leave, bro. Please don't leave. And we get the call probably a couple hours later. They said Luck is dead. Luck been shot. People don't understand what that feeling is. To lose that and how you feel after that, it don't matter. Nothing else matters no more.
You talk about how it just felt like death was an ever-present part of your life.
It's hard explaining that and getting people to understand that. You start to lose hope. Why am I here? How much longer am I gonna be here? I gotta watch my back every time I come outside. So you're surviving day to day.
Basketball was Carmelo's escape.
I didn't love it until my junior year in high school.
That's when he committed to play college ball at Syracuse University. Carmelo finished high school at the prestigious Oak Hill Academy, where he'd play in one of the most anticipated basketball games of the year, a high school showdown against fellow prep star LeBron James. But for Carmelo, it was his time with LeBron off the court that truly stands out.
When I tell you we sat there for hours just talking, it was nothing about basketball. You know, I lost luck, so I was looking for somebody to fill that void and to fill that space. And believe it or not, he was looking for someone to fill that void and fill that space. And we instantly connected.
Carmelo would go on to play 1 year at Syracuse, winning the national championship as a freshman. And while he wanted to stay, his head coach, Jim Boeheim, was insistent it was time to turn pro.
Do you remember in that moment where he said, get out, you got to go? What you thought?
Basically, he didn't even tell me pack nothing. He just said, get your stuff and go. I better not see you back on this campus. And that's what we did the press conference.
Just being here, man.
And I shed a tear in the press conference. Like this is home.
It feels like feeling at home matters to you.
It does. There's no better feeling than feeling like you're home, being at peace, being comfortable. There's no better feeling than that.
His new home is in Los Angeles, where he is teaming up with LeBron James.
Are you still friends with LeBron James?
Yes.
Look, I'm wearing a shirt.
I see that.
The last two active players from the 2003 NBA draft. That night is where his book ends, but Carmelo's story is still being written.
I think the timing is right. You know, he had his path, I had my path. We started together, we're going to end together.
Now, you just said we're going to end together. Is this
Meaning
it?
like
Is this the
our
last
careers,
year?
Like, no, just meaning like careers coming down to the end.
While he's hoping that end includes his first NBA championship,
I want people to feel inspired when they look at this book.
it is clear that Carmelo Anthony has already exceeded the expectations set out for most kids
Come on, you ready? Are you going to pick you up?
who start off here on these courts. The kids his memoir is dedicated to.
To every child who knows there is more to this life than what people tell them is
Yes.
possible.
Yes, absolutely. I felt that. The book is about hope and survival and, adversity and overcoming obstacles.
Yo, champ, what's up?
In these environments, most kids, nobody's telling them what to do or how to do it. I just want people to understand, there's places all over the world like that. Tomorrows aren't promised. I'm just telling you.
And he is so revealing in this book and really puts himself out there in a way that he says you're taught not to do on those streets where you're trying to survive. And it's okay to be vulnerable like that. It's a beautiful story, so well written, and you can hear his voice throughout it.
And you really connected with it.
I think part of it
great.
was thank you, but I think it was reading that book and those stories, you feel like you connect with him because he's been around, but these are stories he hasn't told before.
Yeah.
And you feel like you understand him in a different way.
And you feel like he's ready to tell these stories.
Yeah.
And he tells them with such aplomb.
Yeah.
I really fell in love with him. Even more so than, on the basketball.
Listen, the show started with Syracuse winning a last-second field goal in football. Now we've got the guy who brought Syracuse a national championship, so I'll take it.
And the opportunity to then go pro. Yeah. There it is.